This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, and I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Good evening, Jason Glick. How are you this evening?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Comic-Con is come and gone. I've got, a lot of stuff in the thing, and I'm sure as all of you have read, it's like I had a great time there. Restocked
your queue, did you?
Oh god, it's like restocked my queue and then some, because I've still got all the shit that I pre-ordered from Amazon still coming in. Like I just got latest volumes of Jonathan Hickman's FF and first volume of Mark Waid's Daredevil in softcover today. And there's all the stuff I got last week, and also just like my backlog. So now it's like just expect lots of reviews from here on out. In addition to all the stuff I've been posting, it's like over the last week or so.
A quick note: I ordered WYSIWYG, and it came in the mail from Amazon. Very nice hardcover bound volume. And I started looking into it, and I skipped around just a little bit just to kind of see what it was, and it's a really I think hackers would actually really like this book, this graphic novel.
Excellent. So you have to let me know what you think of it, once you've read through more of it.
Absolutely. And I went and saw The Dark Knight Rises. Who else didn't? So I know you're going to eventually talk about it sometime.
Yes, though sadly, I have to admit that any discussion of the Dark Knight has to be prefaced by acknowledgement of what happened in Aurora on Friday, and it's a goddamn tragedy. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, it is, and I'm not going to let that. Absolutely, I'm not going to diminish the the tragedy that happened. However, we can't let the terrorists win. Damn it!
Exactly. So I mean, as I'm watching the trial to see how they treat this guy, I'm waiting for them to squeeze in for any kind of information. It's like, why the fuck he did this in the first place?
Yeah. By the way,
but still, it's like, but still, while watching this film, it's like going into this, watching it on Saturday, thinking about all the stuff that had gone on before it. It's like I went in there, and for 2 hours and 45 minutes, it was like nothing else mattered. It's like I went in there, and it's like I was just completely fixated on this film.
You sure it was 2 hours and 45 minutes? Didn't feel like it.
It was much like the Lord of the Rings movies. This is probably some of the swiftest epic filmmaking you will see. It's like in a theater. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I mean, it's like as I'm watching this, I did not look at my watch. I did not consider going to the bathroom. I just was absorbed in what was going on screen. So basically, yes, I thought this film was fantastic.
I thought it was excellent as well. I'd have to say that it's very entertaining. Tom Hardy does play a good villain, and all the other cast members, and all the different little, twists and reveals that Nolan likes to throw into his little films are there.
Yes,
this is a great one. Great little twists and throw-ins. And I'm not going to say anything about that.
Well, I was amazed at just how well Nolan pulled off his act's misdirection in this film.
Yes.
Just because I can't talk about it, but let's just say there's a lot of fan speculation about which character was going to play which role. It's like in this film, for the new additions from obviously Anne Hathaway was cast as Catwoman, Tom Hardy was as Bane, but people were wondering what exactly is Marion Cotillard going to play? I mean, and what about Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I mean, what role is he going to fulfill right here? But still, Nolan pulls off a lot of some really good misdirection in this thing. Cause, even if you got an inkling of how some of this is how these people are going to, what the roles some of these people are going to play out. It's it's until the very end that the veil is pulled back and just the point when you've given up and say, okay, I can accept this person as a character in their own right. You go, oh, I should have seen this coming all along, which is brilliant. Yes.
Our friend Sebastian also believed it is a brilliant and a perfect end, in his own words, to the Batman trilogy, the Nolan verse, if you will, Batman trilogy. I really enjoyed the film. In my opinion, it's a great film, but not as it's to me, The Dark Knight is a tough act to follow. I still think that one is the best of his trilogy. I saw this one as as wrapping up the threads that he saw in the first movie.
It was like a return to like the stuff he was developing in Batman Begins. I mean, there's a lot of callbacks to a lot of characters there. The League of Shadows. Liam Neeson makes a from Beyond the Grave appearance, which is really well handled
and unexpected. I didn't expect that. And the other,
I heard rumors that Liam Neeson was going to be in there. Yeah. I mean, I didn't think they were going to actually bring him back, but the way they used him here was, I think, really well. Was really well handled, because he's don't want to actually say what his role in this film was. But let's just say let's say from a psychological perspective, his role in this film makes perfect sense.
Yes. I totally agree, and I think that people should watch this film. And I thought Bane was a very different character. He made him into a very different character than he was in any of the other media that I've seen him in.
Wait, so what have you seen him in then?
I've seen him in the animated series.
Okay. I remember that one episode where he did show up, and I remember I remember that's a bit. The thing is, he was in the animated series, he was essentially kind of relegated to being a villain of the week.
I thought that he was actually hired by Rupert Thorne to assassinate Batman and kill him.
Yeah.
So when he even was attempting to break his back in the cartoon.
Yes.
And which is a throwback to the actual graphic novel, the comic book that where he did break his back.
Yeah, because I remember in the cartoon that they actually because Bane's definitive image. Just Google Google Bane break you, and it's and you'll probably see. And you'll probably see images of his definitive moment, where he just takes Batman and breaks his back right there. But in the animated series, I remember Bane's about to do that, and just as he's about to do that, Batman yanks the cords that are supplying him the venom drug.
Yeah.
And
I think he somehow jams a batarang or something into his venom. Whatever you call it, the thing he wears on his wrist to regulate the flow, the regulator, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And which causes it to inject more into him, causing him to lose control of his own self. And that's how I recently rewatched the episode, so it's pretty fresh.
Yeah. It's with that said, but so you don't get that kind of the epic sense of the character. In the comics, he was. I haven't read these stories. I didn't actually get the collected edition, the new collected editions they've got for Nightfall, that DC has reissued at Comic-Con, because holy crap, those are some thick fucking volumes. And while I'm not averse to reading 600 pages of Batman at a time, the rep for Bane's Bane's got a great rep for his plan for breaking Batman in the first place. It's in plan of genius in its simplicity, and it's that when he releases all the inmates from Arkham Asylum, then lets Batman take his time bringing them all back in, and then when Batman has finally done that, and he's at the end of this rope, then Bane reveals himself and starts beating his ass down, and then that's when he breaks his back. But it's in the animated series, that one episode, it just still kind of felt he was villain of the week.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I remember it from watching this originally over 10, 15 years ago. I think, God, I feel old.
10, 15? Yeah, that's about right.
I feel fucking
exactly. Old. Well, hey, here we are at the it's no longer 2005, it's 2012, and the trilogy is finished. So there you go. Overall, go see it, people. Oh, by the way, I did I had a whole list of. I found, not on purpose. My brain just does this. It goes plot hole, plot hole, plot hole. But somehow they didn't really bother me that much. And I think that if you watch the review done by the two guys, who are they called? The Half and the Bad Guys. They also do the Plinkett reviews. Anyway, they talk about it and they say, well, you know what? They didn't mind it either, but he's kind of an emotional director if you think about it in some ways, and this is their claim, where it doesn't really matter as much. It's a little plot hole. There's plot holes all over the place in Inception as well. But hey, you know what? Do you care? Nah. Story's important. What happens to the characters is important.
Yeah, so the reason there that it was daytime when Bane staged his break into Wall Street, and then it suddenly turned into night while Batman was chasing him. They
picked up on that, and I'll quote from their podcast. If I were their editor, I'd be pulling my hair out if I saw that scene. I'm going like, what do you do with that? Oh, you got to shove it in there. It's too late.
Yeah, but you just put that on the shelf with how Batman, in The Dark Knight, when Batman chased Rachel Dawes out the window after the Joker dropped her, and leaving all those people in Gotham alone with the Joker to do whatever the hell he wanted. Mm-hmm. It's like. So it's that kind of plot hole.
Yeah. So I assume that you're going to talk to us about something Batman related, right? No, you got something else on the plate? What?
Oh fuck no! It's Batman. So of course I can't talk about anything else. So I do want to add that yes, I still prefer The Dark Knight to this. I mean, as great as ending it was, I don't think that anything is really going to ever match up. As much as I like Bane. It's he's still basically the ultimate realization, like the villain who is stronger, better, faster than the hero. It's he's the kind of guy, he's an unstoppable force in nature that Batman fights him straight on. It's he's going to lose. Right. You'll see if you haven't seen the movie, then you'll understand if you've seen the movie, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. And I guess one minor complaint I have is when the rematch happens, Batman doesn't exactly fight him in a different manner because as much as Bane is his own character, Nolan's films have kind of borrowed a lot from Frank Miller's interpretation of the character from Year One and The Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. So the whole Bane rematch in this film I was kind of thinking the whole Batman rematch between the leader of the Mutants gang in in The Dark Knight Returns, and how at first, Batman fights this guy head on, just using, I'm going to fight this, I'm going to just go beat his ass down. But no, he can't do that because guy's a much better fighter than he is. But then, when the rematch happens, Batman starts taking him down in an entirely different manner, showcasing his tactical superiority to the leader. I was kind of hoping for something like that. We didn't quite get that, but still, it's minor complaint. Mm-hmm. And but still, it's when it comes to Batman villains, it's as much as I like Tom Hardy as Bane in this film, nothing is ever going to match up to Batman versus the Joker, and and Heath Ledger's live wire interpretation of the character. I just recently rewatched that film just on Sunday, and wow. That's the reason why I make the statement I do. I was just watching it going it's definitely a better movie. There's just no way around it. Yeah, exactly. It's it's just it has a lot more energy, a lot more surprise and tragedy. I mean, I don't want to keep belittling Rises. No. Rises, it's a great film. But still, The Dark Knight is easily the best of the series. It's basically it's the Empire Strikes Back of Batman movies.
Yeah, exactly. I agree totally. 2 is the number.
Yes. Now that I've gotten through all that, let's talk about the one Batman graphic novel that I picked to talk up that I want to talk about here, because one thing that certain Batman graphic novels have experienced like a sales spike whenever Batman movie comes out. Sure. Particularly Frank Miller's works as well as Alan Moore's The Killing Joke. I can't help the same feeling that DC decided to keep holding back Batman Earth 1 until The Dark Knight Rises came out. Now Earth 1 is basically DC's it's like their ultimate line. Like it's like how Marvel's got their Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, characters created from the ground up for this continuity, for this generation. And that's what they're doing right, and that's what DC's doing right here, only they're doing it as graphic novels. I've already talked about the first in this series, Superman Earth 1 by J. Michael Straczynski, which I don't think is quite as bad as the other reviews pointed out, but still I think it can only get better now that they've got Superman's origin story out of the way. Now Batman Earth 1 comes to us courtesy of Geoff Johns, writer extraordinary of Green Lantern as well as DC's Justice League and many, many other titles for the company, and also artist Gary Frank, his collaborator on various other Superman titles, as well as Superman Secret Origin. Now, the idea behind Batman Earth 1, it's Batman from the ground up, and if you've just only seen the movies, you can go and pick this. If you want to look for a Batman story that requires no continuity, no prior knowledge of the character, you can go ahead and pick this one up. Just be sure to give it a chance past the first few pages, because that's kind of like the most detrimental to the portrayal of the character. Because here's the thing, because I love Batman as this invincible, crime fighter, the kind of guy he's gonna have you beat before you even attack. He's got the plan. He's been planning your defeat ever since before you showed up. It's like how he's a master fighter, so we can just handle anything that's thrown at him. So the only way to actually provide a credible threat to him is to tell a story early on in his career when he's not this invincible crime fighter, or hit him with ideas, or start to hit him with ideas rather than threats, which is what Grant Morrison has done in his run. With fatherhood, death, by taking Batman, his concept to the entire world.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah, it's according to Morrison, it's words are pretty much all that can hurt Batman. It's in this case, or if you're.
That's funny. No, I just think that's hilarious. Go.
Yes. Okay, but also, or if you're as good as Scott Snyder, then you can actually pull off a traditional Batman faces an invincible foe, almost gets his ass handed to him, but manages to pull it to triumph at the very last second, as seen in the New 52 first along with his New 52 run, the Court of Owls. But so with Batman Earth 1, we're getting the whole. Batman is an inexperienced crime fighter. And when I say that those first few pages are kind of the most detrimental to the volume, I mean, there's a fine line between showing Batman, as inexperienced, and then also showing him as incompetent. These first few pages show Batman, trying to fire his grappling hook, showing the mechanism fail, then chasing after this one crook, and missing the grass, missing the ledge that he's supposed to latch onto. So and then falling down, almost breaking some bones, having to sit out a liquor store robbery because of it, and just witnessing his weakness, bearing witness to his own weakness as a result. So I think that Geoff Johns kind of overshot the mark right there, but as volume goes on, he does show the character. This version of Bruce Wayne, eventually does have the chops to be Gotham's protector. I mean, one of the key things about this volume is that even though he does triumph in the end, finding out the truth behind his parents' murder, which is a nice double reversal as far as is it a random occurrence or is it actually planned by the mayor of Gotham, Oswald Cobblepot? So, but then it eventually culminates with him and Alfred deciding that, okay, well, you can keep doing this, but we are going to have to build a better Batman. So I'm looking for. So it ends in a way that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing, and just like how like John's trying to build recently build Batman into the Invincible Crusader that we've all seen. But this volume is all backstory and setup. But for the most part, it's decently entertaining backstory and setup. I mean, Johns has full control over the character and his history, and does some nice things with the setup. I mean, Alfred is he's playing up the whole Royal Marines aspect of the character. He's probably closer to this Alfred is probably closer to more not Michael Caine's interpretation of the character in the movies. Well, not so much in that sense, but also just imagine if Sean Connery was as Alfred, and you kind of got an idea of what he's aiming for right here. And then you also got his parents are introduced as running for mayor, as his dad's running for mayor of Gotham, and his mother is also revealed to have the last name of Arkham. So she's revealed to be an advocate for the mental ill, but there's also a nice little tie into the history of Gotham as well, and also the use of Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin, as the mayor of Gotham, also being its major crime source in this first volume. It's a nice twist, but also the ultimate fate of Cobblepot in this first volume does make me more interested in seeing what Johns does, because because what happens to him gives me the impression this isn't going to be an incarnation of the character is going to be continued for the sake of continuation. Johns may actually have a finished story to tell with this version of Batman. I'm interested in seeing where he goes with this. The fact that this whole line is called Earth One makes you think that is this going to be self-contained version iterations of the character that once the author in charge, be it Straczynski or Johns, is done with them, then they'll give it to someone else, and then we'll have Earth 2. So it's a nice infinitely expandable idea. It's assuming that DC is working off my theory, which is a really asshole, arrogant way to think right here. But as it is, I don't think that it's Batman and Earth One doesn't quite come off as an essential read. I mean, a lot of this stuff is first of all, just kind of here with world building, showing us the various the new incarnations of these characters, and some of them work really well, like I said with Cobblepot, and also with Harvey Bullock. Because anyone familiar with Harvey Bullock, in the animated series or the comics, is gonna look at this version and say, "What the hell?" Even though I get the feeling that Johns is taking steps to bring him more in line with the version that we know. It's at the end of the volume. Same with Jim Gordon, who comes off as relatively defeated. It's in this throughout most of the volume, but then with the feeling, hey, we're getting back to the Jim Gordon we know and love. But a lot of the stuff, it's kind of it's heading on one hand, it's heading towards familiar familiar destinations for a lot of these characters, and I don't. I kind of find myself kind of agreeable to this stuff, because you start changing things too much, and you don't have a Batman story anymore. So there you go. And plus, the next volume, well, I guess I have to applaud John's restraint in not going straight for the Joker, in the second volume. But I do think that the villain they've picked for the next volume will be an interesting choice, since by all logic it should mean that it's going to be focusing on Batman, on the building of Batman as a detective type character, and someone who can face down logic or riddles. So it's Earth One. If you've seen the movies, if you've seen Nolan's movies, and you're looking for a nice continuity free approach to Batman, then hey, I think this might actually fit the bill. Keep in mind, though, that Nolan's films are heavily influenced by Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns and Year One. So if you're looking for series that tie in directly to the movie, those are your best bets. If you're looking for what do I read, where do I go for Batman after this, then Earth One is also worthy choice. I also thoroughly enjoy Morrison's current run, but that is so steeped in Batman continuity that people like looking to dive directly from the movies into this are kind of find themselves completely lost. So
don't get yourself completely lost.
Well,
unless you want to get lost, right?
Yes, unless you want to witness one crazed genius Scotsman telling his definitive story with the character, then by all means go get Grant Morrison's run. It's like God knows, I'm still I'm waiting for the first volume of Batman Incorporated. The next volume of Batman Incorporated to hit trade once they get enough issues.
Okay. Cool. I guess with that will be the end of our podcast for the night.
Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed. And I guess that you have so much there that we're pretty much virtually assured you're going to have some great material for us next time, right?
Oh, that's absolutely sure. It's right now, I can say that that an Atomic Robo podcast is almost set in stone for 2 weeks, but unless something else pops into my head that I have to do it. So look forward to that in 2 weeks then.
Well, all right, and we'll catch you later.
All right.